We have a special guest joining us.
We do.
He is fireman/comedian, a man who has recently won the Lex Luthor lookalike contest. It's comedian Dave Dyer. That is a bald head.
It is.
Hi, Dave.
Do you have eyebrows? Are they...
I do. They're very, look at, everything's gray. If I grow this out, I age about 17 years in a week. So I've just gotten rid of everything.
A lot of skin.
But as a fireman,
Yeah.
you don't want a ton of facial hair.
You do not want, and let me tell you this is a little secret I'll let you people in on. Anytime you see a commercial where you see a fireman with a beard, you can go, nope, doesn't happen. We have to have the face clean. You can have a mustache, but you have to have the face clean so that your mask on your air pack makes a tight seal to your face.
Okay.
We should point out that Mr. Dyer is, in fact, a fireman. For real.
Yep. Promoted to lieutenant recently.
Well, congratulations, LT.
Whoa.
Nice.
Which means I've got the red helmet now on scene, and also means I can get in more trouble for some of the decisions I make.
All right.
So you're Lieutenant Dave.
What are the upper ranks then? What's next? Do they have colonels and captains?
Well, we have a very small department, so we basically have firefighters, lieutenants, and then the next one is our chief. So there's our lieutenant. There's three. There's our chief, 3 lieutenants, and then we have 15 firefighters underneath that.
Okay.
But we're very proud of you for being a firefighter.
Yes.
It's a very
thank you.
Great thing to be doing for other people. I know you're helping out. But
you ever use chief sarcastically? You know, with someone who's not the chief. Whatever you say, chief. Stuff like that.
You know, the problem is I used to use that like in just normal talk, and now I'm very careful because I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea that I'm giving them more authority than they should have.
Dave Dyer, besides being a fireman, is also a comedian, and October 7th is a Saturday night. And in Tiffin, Ohio, it's going to be a special Saturday night because it's Mr. Jeff Oskey, Greg Hahn, and Dave Dyer on stage at the Ritz.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I texted Han yesterday and said, hey, I'm going to be on the show tomorrow promoting the Tiffin gig. Anything you want me to send? Any messages you want me to send along? He said, yeah, let him know I'm looking for a penthouse in Florida.
Oh, okay. Tom's been asking Greg about his situation. He's
living in a hotel, I think.
So good to know.
Hey, I have a couple of fireman questions. Sorry. When people find out you're a fireman, they have all kinds of questions.
Oh,
Can you wear jewelry and like a watch, or do you have to be because of if in the heat,
right, because of the heat,
would like a ring be bad? Do you have to be stripped of like of earrings and anything like that?
Well, that's a good point, Tom, to bring up. I do not wear any sort of jewelry or anything like that when I'm at work. I've got my wedding band right on, but I do not wear that. I'm at work in case we have to go into a situation like that. I do have a smartwatch that I wear that, at least at this point, has lasted. So I've not had an issue with that. But generally, you do try to keep. I've even heard stories about people who have had like change in their pocket, and in a really hot situation, that has created an issue.
Yikes.
So you try to be metal free if you can.
Okay, that's what I figured. The watch hasn't melted?
The watch is not melted, but I haven't had this very long. I just got this. I don't know if anybody else has the smartwatch there, but I just caved and got the smartwatch thing. And I'll tell you, this has not, we have not gotten along very well so far.
Oh.
When I first got this, I took the dog for about a 3-mile hike. And when I got back, it said I'd burned 120 calories. And I'm like, there's no way. I was sweating profusely. My left arm was throbbing the entire time. There's no way I only burned 120 calories. Well, what I didn't realize is that you have to go into the app on your phone and create a profile.
Okay.
And I hadn't done that yet. So when I went in, by default, I was a 100-pound woman.
Oh.
Okay.
So I've changed that, and I'm now a 400-pound man with asthma.
So it's giving you nice points. That's great. Now, hey, listen, speaking of rings, I've just been handed a little bit of information. You're wearing a wedding ring.
Yes.
It's my understanding, according to this piece of paper in front of me, you had an anniversary of a long marriage. Is that correct?
Well, on December 5th, we celebrate 31 years coming up.
That's great.
Coming up.
We've been together.
Terrific.
Yeah. So there's time to get out.
Yeah. It is. No, not yet. I got a lot of money in this thing now.
You're pot committed.
I was getting a kick out of somebody recently asked me if we still get jealous of each other after 31 years.
Oh.
And I said no. I said, after 31 years, if somebody's hitting on your spouse, you walk over and you go, look it. before you go burning a lot of calories here, how's about we go through the list of stuff she doesn't like and won't do? And then you decide if you want to continue down this road. We've also had to change our as the marriage goes on, we've had to change our sex life quite a bit. Most of that happens in the afternoon these days because that's when we found we are most alert and better able to focus on what goes where and when.
Okay.
I've also noticed that cramping is an issue, not with my wife, but with me. I'm at a point I have to manage electrolyte intake very carefully. We've had a couple instances where I have seized with my hamstrings in the middle of something, and that's brought an end to the party pretty quick.
I would think that there's a possibility that might improve the party for her.
Well, yeah, it does. Yeah,
She's never thrust like this
upset
before.
about it. I'll tell you that.
I see.
Okay. Well, either way. Okay, very good. We're speaking with Dave Dyer, comedian / fireman, now Lieutenant Dyer.
Yes.
That's nice. And Dave Dyer is not just a fireman, like I said, he's a comic, and he'll be working with Greg Hahn and Jeff Oskey for a great night at the Ritz in Tiffin, Ohio, Saturday, October 7th. That'll be a blast. Well, I'm glad things are going well in the fire department. Do you have to sleep there?
Yeah, we do. Yep. Yeah, you do a 24-hour shift. So basically 9 or 10 days a month, depending on how your schedule falls, I basically live at the fire station. We have a whole bunk room and everything, and a day room where we have a kitchen. And you live there for 24 hours when you do a shift.
Can your wife come visit?
Sure, she can. She never does, but she can.
Yeah.
A lot of grab ass going on there at the firehouse.
Not that we talk about, Jay.
Do you now when you say you're cooking? Do you have to get the groceries in your off hours so in case there's a call you can?
No, we'll zip over there. We've always got our radios on. You know, when we go out, even if we have to run some errands for the fire department, we're in the engine. So we're always in the engine ready to take a call. That's our job, Tom. We got to take a call at any time.
No, I admire firemen. I think you guys are great.
I love when you see the firemen at the grocery store.
Haven't you seen the truck outside?
They got their tight shirts and their big pants.
Wait a second. This is a sex thing for you, isn't it?
It's a big sex thing.
Okay.
We've always got our radios on. You see those bright yellow radios.
Hey, Chief, you need help with that hose?
And the hoses are hanging out.
No, I'm a big fan. And I read this, and Chick and I have been to a local fire station where they did have the pole. And remember this?
It was terrifying the first time I did.
And I just read an article that newer fire stations, they are not putting the pole in anymore.
Pole free.
No, they haven't for quite some time. In fact, in Grand Rapids, the city of Grand Rapids Fire Department, I'm with a place called Grand Rapids Township, but the city of Grand Rapids still has 1 or 2 very old stations where they have poles in them. But anything new for many, many years, OSHA won't allow that. So you cannot have the pole.
So the guys at OSHA aren't cool, is what you're saying?
No.
They don't want to have any fun.
The only thing I've seen that's kind of cool is there's a department just outside of Grand Rapids that has their bunk room on an upper level, and they have put in they got an old really cool slide from a playground. You can take the slide down to the bay floor.
Wow.
That's fun.
Now, there's a fire station near my house that has a pole, and also 2 Czechs and a Swede. There are.
No, everybody stop.
That was a work of beauty.
Joshy, sliding it in.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
See, I think that'd be good for recruiting. If you want to get young men and women to think how cool it would be to be a fireman, you catch them when they're young. Go, hey, listen, you get to sleep there and you got a slide when you get up. That's sharp. That's cool.
It's the old bait and switch. You show them the pole, and then when they get on job, you go, well, we can't have it anymore.
I salute all firemen and all firewomen out there doing great things for great people. A lot of saving lives every day, not just with fires, but with all kinds of rescue stuff. I'm very, very proud of you. Hey, did you know here at the studios, we have one of those, is it pronounced defibrillator?
Defibrillator.
And
we have an AED.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's very impressive. AED?
AED.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody took the course except for me and Chick. You know why? Because we're the ones that are to be using it on.
Yeah. You guys ought to just get tattoos of where the pads go.
Hey, Mr. Comedy, did you hear that?
I know.
That's funny. That's
he's
funny
a
stuff,
funny
Dave.
guy.
Dave Dyer.
Keep him here.
Dave Dyer, a very handsome man. And are you still doing the fancy workout. What was that called?
I haven't done
CrossFit.
CrossFit in a while. You know, when the pandemic hit, the gym I went to closed, so I've just been working out from home. I still do a lot of stuff, but I don't do textbook CrossFit stuff.
Okay.
But I still try to stay in shape.
Okay. Do you have like barbells and stuff at the fire station?
Yeah, we do. We've got a lot of kettlebells. We have a lot of sandbags and all kinds of stuff like that. And you can always just throw a pack on your back and go for a walk, and that'll be plenty of weight to give you a good workout.
I bet.
Now,
In fact, what do they call that? We had a story about that recently.
oh yeah, it's got a funny
rucking,
name.
right?
Rucking, yeah.
Yeah, rucking.
Rucking, yep.
There's a so-called rucksack.
Okay.
No, really,
Yeah.
it's a thing. There's a company called, I think it's like
Go Ruck.
What is it?
Go Ruck.
Yeah, go. It's go, and then their motto is "Go Ruck yourself."
I'd let a fireman ruck me.
There you go.
Really?
Well,
You'd like to go down the pole, would you?
Stay on the line for a little while, Jess.
So at the firehouse where you work,
Yeah.
who's the best cook? Do you have
know
good?
what?
Do you have good
There's-
food?
Yeah, one of our paid on call guys who does some shift is a guy named Jason, and Jason makes some pretty good stuff. In fact, to the point where he's actually considering opening his own food truck, but he makes some really good stuff, and he's a hunter, so he'll mix in some venison and some of the stuff that he's killed, and he's pretty good.
Oh, awesome.
Now, another dumb question: the alarm goes off. You guys have to leave. Is it? Like there's just like one big button you push to turn everything off so you don't set the firehouse on fire?
No, there's no big button. But you kind of think about what you're doing and what you should turn off.
I mean, you're a polite
red
man,
button on
Dave,
the wall.
to actually just answer that.
Yeah.
What if you
What
have
a
stuff on the
polite-
stove, you know?
Yeah.
Then
I
you
mean,
turn
yeah,
off the
'cause-
stove.
You got to get to the fire.
There's an alarm going off. You forgot how I've got something in the warming oven. I've got this over here and that oven. You know what it's like. You always got 5 different things going.
So there should be a big button.
Well,
is your
here's
point.
what I'll tell you, Tom. This is what I'll tell you, and I mean this sincerely, and I'm sure other firefighters will say the same thing. When you're at the firehouse, no matter what you're doing, you always have to prioritize things in your head that the most important thing we're going to be doing is taking a call. So no matter what you're doing, you truly kind of think out the process. Okay, if we get some, I got to turn this off and that. So you do think about that all the time because you got to be ready. You know, when we get a call, when the tones drop for especially like a structure fire, our goal is to be in our gear and out that door in 90 seconds.
Wow.
So we gotta have a plan in place.
Do you get to drive?
Oh yeah. Yep. The way that our department is, like I said, it's a very small department. There's just two of us in the day. It's myself and the chief, and then we have paid on call people who respond as well. But during the day, I drive, and then our chief is in the passenger seat, which in a fire truck or fire engine is called the officer seat, and he's there making the calls. And then when he leaves and goes home at night and a guy comes in and does a shift with me overnight, I move to that seat and they drive and then I'm calling the shots.
Now, is there like a thing between you and cops if you get pulled over in your regular car? Do you like have a thing you kind of flip the badge and go
Flash my lieutenant badge?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been able to test it out yet. If you'd like today, I will zoom through the neighborhood.
Yeah, let me know.
If Blue Bloods has taught me anything, it's that cops and police and firemen don't always get along.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will say, no, we get along great with all the people we work with. And and I know a lot of the county sheriffs in our area. So there's a good chance if I got pulled over, I would know them.
Blue Bloods is wrong?
Yeah, okay. Dave Dyer. Once again, Dave.
Sorry, Tom.
Doing some stand-up. I've never watched the show.
That's great. Yeah, nobody in America has.
It's Greg Hahn, Jeff
Just
Oskey,
leave you with the interviews forever.
and Dave Dyer. Comedy at the Ritz. At the Ritz in Tiffin, Ohio.
Yep.
It was a good interview. We learned that.
Until I spoke, wasn't it?
No, we learned that.
There's a big button at the firehouse
And
that
the-
turns everything off, so you don't catch the
Turns the
firehouse
chili
on fire.
off.
Jess Hooker is going to be volunteering for the overnight shift, doing
Firehouse,
the
yeah.
cooking and the
The rucking.
ruck. I think was the term.
She's gonna rock.
Go ruck.
boy.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Dave.
Didn't mean to bother you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Good to see you all.
I mean, thank you, Lieutenant.
Whatever, Lieutenant.
Okay.
How great is that?
Bye, David.
Bye, Dave.
Lieutenant Dave
Great.
Dyer.